Hello, hello, I'm the official name raider. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then provide my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Oshawott, Dewott, and Samurott. The one that's Japanese. We had France, then China, and now we're going to Japan. And knowing how this works, we're probably just going to be seeing a bunch of this elsewhere, so we'll see how this goes. Starting out the list, Tsunami, generic water type nickname we've seen thousands of times before. The fact that it's the highest ranked actually kind of saddens me a little bit, but whatever. Following that, Poseidon, your typical god bullshit. We've seen this time and time again, and my stigma with gods is that it's the most cliche and unoriginal nickname you could possibly come up with. Following that, we have Sokka, which is the opposite of Katara, so that's an idea for you if you feel like mixing it up. Most people go with Katara. Next two I actually like. Harry Otter. That's fucking stupid, but you know what? I enjoy it. Samurott Jack. I basically expected to see a Samurai Jack thing at some point, but I was just expecting it to just say Jack. And counting this, it is 12 characters. However, you will have to get rid of the space between the two in order to make it fit, so yeah, that works, and I think that's going to convey the joke that you want a lot better. So if you're going to make a Samurai Jack reference or joke or whatever, do it like this. In other words, it's not going to work. Neptune, a combination of both, more of your typical god shit, but also just planets. Planets are cool. So if you fancy that, there's another generic water type nickname we've seen thousands of times already. So I actually do have Suijin written down, but I did a little check just to see, because my idea was thinking about the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Sanga, Suijin, and Kazujin, the Gate Guardian cards. And, the top result is in fact Gate Guardian. But it also talks about, the Shinto god of Japanese water and shit. So that kind of throws it off, but hey, I guess I learned something. Because I didn't see the Wikipedia thing apparently, I was clicking on these other things and I was like, oh, well, maybe some weeb out there can tell me how accurate that is. But if fucking Wikipedia's got a page saying that's what it is, then that ends the debate all by itself. I like the idea of, the Suijin thing purely for Yu-Gi-Oh, but now it feels like a little bit less cool because it's it could be easily forgotten. I don't know how many people out there know about it. I just know of the Yu-Gi-Oh card, and that's it. The sentence hurts my soul a little bit because it's named Paris, and then he says Las Vegas. There is a Paris. Oh, I don't even remember the name of the casino. Shit. I don't know. It's something Paris, and it is an Eiffel Tower. They have that in Vegas. I remember that. I've been to Vegas 15 years ago, but it still kind of hurts my soul. Regardless, location-based nicknames are fine. Paris is fine. I don't really necessarily agree with his reasoning behind it, but just as a general thing, location-based nicknames are fine. I'm fine with food-based nicknames, but this description honestly makes me think that this name, based on his reasoning, feels like it might be better fit for Keldeo, just because it's a water type with a sword. Sword, quote-unquote. So for that reasoning, I feel like it fits Keldeo better, but at the same time, it's also not like a fish at all, so do with that what you will. But food-based nicknames are fine with me too. I don't know if I necessarily think that Nigiri is the best choice for an otter, but an idea. The fact that we didn't actually see Navy SEAL for Spiel or Seal Dugong kind of surprises me, because the joke is there. I don't know why they picked it for an otter, but the joke is there. Alright, just clarifying because I wanted to make sure that I was giving the right information. It was an otter, but now it's a sea lion. It's been a while since I've said this, but Honor will work because it follows the same kind of Bayonetta Binding of Isaac style nickname. And thinking about it, I don't think I chose Honor for my Mortal Kombat 11 fighting styles. Yes, I used that same naming thematic when creating a custom moveset for all the characters in MK. I don't think I used Honor for anyone though. In other words, I probably would have thought of this before, but I mean, yeah, it can work. I mean, firstly, it just works in general, but I mean, the reasoning for Samurai as well, that's fine. I'm also not sure if we've ever talked about Atlantis before or not. But I mean, Atlantis is another very commonly associated with water type thing, so I suppose if you wanted to, you could use that for a generic water type nickname as well. I don't really necessarily have a problem with it. Alright, so we got more of a cringe raider right here, and the one thing he does right is he does not pretend that he invented Samurai Jack or Poseidon. He acknowledges that those were things in the real world that somebody else came up with. But all of these are pretty bad. Shelmarai, I don't care. Well, Shelmarai, I don't care. Samurai Jack's fine. I prefer Samurott Jack. I just think it's a better name. Poseidon, generic god shit we already talked about. And then Saber Seal, Hunter are pretty fucking boring as well. So, nothing worth talking about, but I guess the one small thing he did right was not plagiarize. Okay, we reached the bottom. I don't feel like we saw too much, but if I'm honest, I feel like I skipped a lot as well, just because a lot of it I feel like was super heavy Japanese and went over my head. So here's a secret for you. Despite me, having a channel literally dedicated to Pokemon, I'm not much of an anime or Japan guy. Like, I know that might seem crazy, but that's not really me. Pokemon's just one of those few exceptions where I'm like, yeah, I like this. In general, I'm not even that crazy about RPGs. So, I mean, it's worth for you to take a look if it strikes your fancy and if this didn't help. If not, let's check the spreadsheet for some last minute ideas. Animal Crossing Otter, Pascal. Pascal's not a very common name, but it is meant to be a name. If I'm honest, when I hear Pascal, I instantly think science terms. I don't even remember. It's a unit of measurement for something, but I don't even fucking remember what. But there's an idea for you, I guess. One thing I thought of, which, I mean, feel free to disagree if you want. I'm not going to really argue and say it's good, because in my opinion, it's meh. But the thought was, in my mind that, like, because of its little helmet, quote unquote, one thing you could do is maybe name it Shao Kahn, because Shao Kahn's helmet is very much reflective of that of a samurai helmet. Shao Kahn is not Japanese. Shao Kahn has no samurai anything going on with him, just the helmet. And even then, I'd still would probably give it maybe like a 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 5 if I'm being generous. So, like, I wouldn't personally use it, but it was a thing I thought about while laying in bed. I'm like, yeah, you could. But other words, the ones that I really liked were just Samurott Jack and then Harry Otter. Those I liked. I thought those were funny, and we started off strong with those. But other words, I don't really have a personal choice, and if I'm honest, still don't think I will even after this. But hey, there's still time. I still have 400 more Pokemon to look over, so maybe I'll get a nickname idea within the time span of me finishing this channel. Any ideas and suggestions you have or previous names you've used, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good. And next up, we go on, I think next is, my mind says Watchhog, but I don't feel like that's actually right. I feel like it's something else. Regardless, we get on to things that are not starters and will probably be shorter episodes as a result. And honestly, I think of all 3 starters, this one might be the shortest of the 3. Admittedly, I was just browsing Reddit just for a minute because, I don't know, sometimes there's this fun debate about why Steelix weighs less than a Mudsdale. So that's a thing. And then apparently there was a new Arceus trailer I didn't know existed. Anyway, I'm rambling. Go do your homework or think of nicknames. Damn it.